greatest strategic victory of all. We won the Cold War, and thus helped to secure democracy in free countries in future years. It seems, however, strange to write such prose now, for the world is a more threatening place, so often typified by autocratic leaders whose very aim seems to be to destabilize all that we know and hold so dear. We must hope that leaders in the free world stand up to such threats. But I must finish by confessing that there is one other reason why I jumped at the chance to write this foreword, for in all likelihood I owe my life to Chris. To explain, when we were carrying out operations in Belize, he and I went up country one weekend, and whilst swimming in the Rio Grande, I somehow contrived to slip on some very dangerous rocks above a waterfall, and ended up face down, unconscious and bleeding, in the rocky shallows some 10 feet below. Had Chris not been there to run around the waterfall and drag me out to safety, I would not be writing this now. So my thanks to him go far beyond gratitude for this intriguing book, and always will. There were very few people in the Harrier Force for whom I had a higher regard than he, and I look back on those shared times with enormous affection. Air Chief Marshal Sir Clive Loder, KCB OBE RAF, retired, January 2022. Introduction. In 2006, my wife Lynn and I spent a weekend in Cambridge. While there, we visited the impressive World War II American Cemetery and Memorial at Madingley, where we fell into conversation with another visitor. He was an aviation enthusiast, and when I told him about my background, he suggested I should write an account of my flying career, pointing out that, unlike many of those buried at Madingley, I had done nothing exceptional as a pilot. He said that little had been written about flying for the military in more recent times, and he was sure it would be of interest to aviation-minded people in the years to come. This suggestion germinated, and once I had retired, for the second time, I decided that I would write an account of my career in aviation, not least as a record for my 3 sons, of what I have done in my working life. Serving in the RAF until I was 46 years old, reaching a reasonably senior rank level, and then moving on to work in 2 different aviation environments, was not a normal progression. Whilst most military pilots looking for a second career in aviation go into airline flying, I went to work in a very different area, aerial work, and subsequently I spent 4 years in commercial flying training. I flew as a military pilot and as a civilian pilot, and I was also a leader/manager in all the 3 areas of aviation in which I worked. When I came to making some notes about what to include in this account, I became more aware of something I knew already, that I had been very fortunate to survive my military flying career, thus the title of 9 Lives. I cannot claim perfect recall, and I apologize for any facts or points of detail that are not 100% correct. I have tried to be honest and open in what I have written, at the risk of embarrassing myself on too many occasions, and the views expressed are mine alone. Chris Burwell, Westwood, November 2021. Chapter 1. The Early Days. My earliest experience of flight was in the mid-1950s, when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was on a family holiday to Pwllheli on the Llŷn Peninsula in Wales, with my parents and my 2 older brothers, when we visited the airfield at Carnarvon and flew in a Dragon Rapide. It was a warm summer's day, and I recall the pilot in the front, the sun on his white shirt, and the particular aeroplane smell that would become familiar in the years ahead. Produced in the 1930s as a light commercial airliner, the Dragon Rapide, a twin-engined biplane, was an iconic aircraft of its time. But of course this meant nothing to me as I watched the Earth slip away to reveal...